Khloe Kardashian addresses O.J. Simpson, Robert Kardashian paternity rumors. Some family secrets refuse to stay buried no matter how many years pass or how many times they get officially denied. Khloe Kardashian has decided that if people are going to keep whispering about whether O.J. Simpson was actually her biological father rather than Robert Kardashian Senior, she might as well lean into the absurdity and make jokes about it herself. On the November 20th episode of The Kardashians, viewers witnessed an unexpectedly hilarious moment when Kim Kardashian revealed she was the mysterious buyer who paid over $80,000 at auction to obtain a Bible that their late father Robert had gifted to his longtime friend and client O.J. Simpson decades ago. The Bible, which included a handwritten inscription from Robert to O.J. dated June 18, 1994, just 6 days after Nicole Brown Simpson's murder, had been put up for sale by Simpson's estate following his death in 2024. What could have been a somber moment of reclaiming a family heirloom instead turned into comedy gold as Khloe couldn't resist addressing the elephant that has been lurking in every Kardashian-related conversation for years. When Kim explained that her initial proposal of $15,000 to privately purchase the book from O.J.'s estate was rejected, forcing her to go through the public auction process and pay significantly more, Khloe responded with perfect deadpan humor, calling them a bunch of jerks for not just giving it to the family. But then she added the kicker that made everyone watching do a double take, declaring that it's proven he's their dad, deliberately keeping the pronoun ambiguous. Kim seized the opportunity to escalate the joke, responding that well, it's questionable between which one, between O.J. and Dad, finally saying out loud what tabloids and internet commenters have been speculating about for literally decades. Khloe ran with it, pointing out that since the Bible once belonged to either one of them, that's good enough reason that it should be in her possession, jokingly referring to both of my dads before demanding they give it to her. The exchange was remarkable not just for its humor but for the way it demonstrated how the Kardashian sisters have learned to defuse uncomfortable topics by addressing them head-on with self-deprecating comedy rather than pretending the rumors don't exist. Make sure to subscribe and click that notifications bell icon so you never miss the latest Kardashian family revelations and the moments when they address long-standing controversies with unexpected humor and honesty. The Bible did eventually make its way back into the family more than 30 years after Robert originally gave it to O.J., with Kim ultimately presenting it to Khloe as a birthday gift. The emotional significance of the item went far beyond the paternity jokes and the shock value of its connection to one of the most infamous murder trials in American history. Khloe explained in a confessional that she doesn't have many things of her dad's, revealing that when Robert passed away back in 2003 from esophageal cancer at just 59 years old, things happened and the family didn't get a lot of his stuff. The vagueness of that statement hints at complicated family dynamics and possibly contentious estate issues that resulted in the Kardashian children not receiving as many personal items from their father as they would have liked. For Khloe in particular, who has openly discussed feeling like she sometimes didn't quite fit in with her siblings and faced questions about her paternity even before the O.J. rumors became widespread, having tangible connections to Robert carries enormous emotional weight. Seeing Robert's name and handwriting in the Bible was very sentimental to Khloe, she admitted, her voice thick with emotion that made it clear this wasn't just about acquiring another possession but about having a physical connection to a father she lost when she was only 19 years old. The Good American co-founder also got to see all the Bible passages that her dad had highlighted specifically for O.J., creating this strange layered connection between her father's faith, his friendship with Simpson, and the horrific crime that would eventually define both men's legacies in very different ways. Kim pointed out how cool it was that Robert would underline specific passages, and Khloe began reading from James chapter 3 verse 5, which states that the tongue is a small thing but what enormous damage it can do. The irony of that particular passage being highlighted in a Bible given just days after Nicole Brown Simpson's murder, and now being read aloud decades later in the context of paternity rumors and family speculation, was almost too perfectly dramatic to be believed. The paternity rumors surrounding Khloe have been one of the most persistent and frankly cruel aspects of public fascination with the Kardashian family. The speculation stems partly from Khloe's different appearance compared to her sisters, with her taller stature and different facial features leading to endless commentary about whether she could really be the biological daughter of Robert Kardashian. The timing of Robert's close relationship with O.J. Simpson and his ex-wife Kris Jenner's admitted infidelity during her marriage to Robert created a perfect storm of tabloid fodder that has followed Khloe throughout her entire adult life. Every family photo gets analyzed, every childhood picture scrutinized, with amateur detectives on social media convinced they can determine paternity based on bone structure and height comparisons. The cruelty of this ongoing speculation cannot be overstated, as Khloe has had to watch strangers debate her very identity and suggest that the man she called dad for her entire childhood might not have been her biological father. For what it's worth, O.J. Simpson did directly address and deny the paternity rumors before his death from cancer in April 2024. In a 2019 Twitter post, the former football star and actor declared that Bob Kardashian was like a brother to him and that he was very proud of Khloe and all the girls, just as he knew Bob would be if he were still alive. Simpson stated unequivocally that the simple fact of the matter is she is not mine, using the somewhat cold and distant phrasing if she is not mine rather than something warmer like Khloe is not my daughter. Whether Simpson was telling the truth or simply protecting the Kardashian family and his own legacy from further scandal is something only he and potentially Kris Jenner would know for certain, and Simpson took that truth to his grave when he died at 76 years old. Kris Jenner herself has addressed the paternity question multiple times over the years, always insisting that Robert Kardashian was absolutely Khloe's biological father and expressing frustration that the rumors persist despite her repeated denials. In her memoir and in various interviews, Kris has admitted to being unfaithful to Robert during their marriage, acknowledging an affair with former soccer player Todd Waterman that contributed to the breakdown of their relationship. However, she has always maintained that the affair timing doesn't align with Khloe's conception and that there was never any question about Khloe's paternity. The problem is that once rumors like this take hold in public consciousness, they become nearly impossible to completely extinguish regardless of how many denials are issued or how much evidence contradicts them. What makes this situation particularly complex is the way it intersects with one of the most famous criminal trials in American history. Robert Kardashian's role as part of O.J. Simpson's legal dream team during the 1995 murder trial made him a recognizable public figure after years of being a relatively unknown attorney and businessman. His presence at Simpson's side throughout the trial, his reading of what many interpreted as a potential suicide note on live television, and his visible emotional investment in his friend's defense created a permanent link between the Kardashian name and the Simpson case. The fact that this all played out just months after Robert gave O.J. that Bible with its inscription adds another layer of tragic irony, suggesting that Robert was trying to provide spiritual support to his friend in the immediate aftermath of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman's murders, either believing in O.J.'s innocence or at least wanting to be there for someone he considered family. The decision by O.J. Simpson's estate to auction off the Bible rather than privately returning it to the Kardashian family speaks to the contentious and complicated relationships that persisted long after the trial ended. Despite Simpson's acquittal in criminal court, he was found liable for wrongful death in civil court and ordered to pay $33.5 million to the victims' families, a judgment that has followed him throughout his life and now into his estate. The auction of personal items including this Bible presumably serves to generate funds for settling debts and claims against the estate. The fact that Kim had to pay over $80,000 for something that her father gave as a gift in the first place adds insult to injury from the family's perspective, hence Khloe's comment about them being jerks for not just returning it. Kim's decision to give the Bible to Khloe as a birthday present rather than keeping it herself or giving it to one of their siblings shows a thoughtfulness about what this particular item would mean to each family member. Kim presumably has more of her father's possessions and memories, while Khloe has repeatedly expressed feelings of being somewhat on the outside of the family dynamic and having fewer tangible connections to Robert. The gift represents Kim's recognition of what her sister needs emotionally, using humor to lighten the moment while still acknowledging the deeper significance of having this connection to their father.